this is Andrea, and if you don't know me, I'm a network marketer and a no-nonsense, no BS business marketing and branding coach. And what I do is I teach and train people just like you and me to find opportunities they need to build the lifestyle they always dreamed of and stand out in the crowd, 5 day in a row, and become an authority in their businesses. Now, I debated a lot about what to talk about today, and I was already working on a couple of projects, so I thought I'm going to talk about one of them. I'm going to talk more at the end of this, but what I'm going to talk to you today about is going to be a topic that I'm doing for my blog, which is how to make money with your blog, and what are some of the secrets of the top bloggers they're not telling you, or they are not revealing you. So I know why I got into blogging. I got into blogging because I was working long hours. I was doing a lot of commuting. I was feeling bored at work. I was feeling unfulfilled at my corporate job, and I just wanted a different lifestyle. I wanted more freedom. I didn't want to have to request vacations. I didn't want to have to worry about pay raises. And basically, I just wanted to have more time freedom. So I'm sure that you're thinking about the same things, and maybe these are the exact same things that are going on with you. So I thought that, why not let's start a blog? I've seen all these people that, show income reports online, and I'm sure you've probably seen some that are showing 5-6 figures every single month as revenue. So I was thinking, which I'm sure, again, you're thinking, that if they can do it and, so many people do it, then, you're a sucker for not trying that sooner. Is that correct? Who wouldn't want to make that much money just from blogging? Who wouldn't want to make that much money traveling or watching their kids' games, or not missing any moment with them, or just spending time with things that actually bring you happiness and just make your life better? I mean, yes, we need jobs, we need money, but it comes to a point where you need to think about the quality of your life, and then you need to weigh in, what's more important, have the money or, have a better quality. And if quality is important to you, then you're going to seek other opportunities that will help you create that quality that you're seeking. So how did you start, or how did I start? I'm sure that if you already started researching the subject, you probably looked for how to start a blog and stuff like that. You maybe even found a hosting service, you purchased a domain name. Maybe you decided what kind of blogging platform to use. Maybe even started your own blog. But it's hard to try to figure out these things because it just doesn't happen overnight. And, there's a lot of work involved in this. So maybe you did all that, and maybe you're feeling stuck. Because I know I've been there. When I first started, I've been there, I felt stuck for quite a long time because I was trying to figure out things. My biggest question was, how do I make the money? How do I monetize it? What do I need to do? So what I did, and maybe you did, I went to Google, our friend Google, right? And I looked for how to make money with your blog, how to monetize your blog, successful bloggers, rich bloggers. I searched any keyword that I can think of, and I started reading their blogs, especially the ones that were talking about how they made their first $1,000, how they made their next $1,000, how they scaled it up to $5,000, how they scaled it up to $10,000, how they made that every single month, how they 10 times that every single month, right? I'm sure you did that. I did all that as well. So here are the things that I think you read about. You read, or if you haven't read that, you'll probably read about about a couple things. One, you must write great content. Once you have your content, then you must use social media like Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, whatever other platforms there are out there to promote it. Then you have to build your email list. Then you have to find your niche, and you need to focus on it. and then you will have to create your product, right? Now, if you listen to this and you paid attention to these things that I talked about, it kind of makes sense, right? Because it started making sense to me when I read about these things. So what do you do next? Well, I've started these things myself. And if you are doing these things yourself, then, just pat yourself on the back, because you're actually creating content, which is important, and you're actually working on your blog, and, you're doing all these things that, these other bloggers are talking about, but sometimes it's really, really hard. And what I mean with this, you may think that, because you wrote that content, it's the best content that, has landed on the internet ever. And I think you're a little bit biased, because I thought I worked so hard to research it. I worked so hard to, make sure that, I don't plagiarize anything, make sure everything is in my own words. And, and it might be a really good content, but it's really hard to tell because nobody knows that you're a blogger. I mean, you're doing everything right. You're sharing your blogs or posts on social media. You're creating great content. You're expecting everything to go smooth and easy. You're expecting an overflow of traffic, and those things are not happening. So if you're doing all these and then you're having all these other problems, then what exactly is the problem? Maybe you start thinking that, there's some things that you didn't learn about blogging. So then, you go around looking for more education, right? Everybody says that you need to continue your educations, you constantly need to improve on your skills. You're trying to solve this puzzle, and then you're spending hundreds of dollars and not thousands of dollars. I've been there. But, this is what's happening. And after you spend all this money, there are a couple of things that are happening. You're realizing that, one, you have not learned anything new, maybe a couple of new techniques, but overall it's nothing really new. And all that information that was in whatever course you purchased, you remember seeing it online for free at some point. And it's basically just same advice, just told in a different way. And you start thinking, well, what if these people are withholding something? I mean, they're telling me that they're making all this money. They're telling me how they're going to make it, yet, I go through their course and I still don't know. So what are they not telling you? And why would they do that? Well, the majority of them, they're not doing that intentionally. Some do, but the majority of them will not do this intentionally. But a lot of the people will actually fail to admit the actual things that make their blogs a success. So in this video or this live, or this is going to be attached to a blog post too, whichever channel you're watching, listening, or reading, I'm going to talk to you about some of the things that I realized are happening with these bloggers that are not really out in the open. So here are the 6 of the secrets that your successful bloggers are not revealing. So the first is to stop creating, or not necessarily stop, but forget about creating original content, at least in the beginning. I mean, you have so many things to do. You have to decide on platforms, domain names, hosting, whatever, so many things, graphics, whatever, design. You have so many things to do, and you want to start getting to creating posts, because these will be the ones that will rank your blog, and these will be the ones that will, make you an authority. But when you first start blogging, there's going to be so many things to do, and you still have more things to do. So instead of worrying about doing all that research to create original content, I would do a research on the niche or on the industry that you're blogging about. And I would look at the things that are successful, or the things that people are searching within those niches and within those industries. I would also look at the competition and look what is the buzz on their blogs or on their social media. What are they buzzing about? What are their audience buzzing about? So what I would do is I would use that as topic for your content, for your new blogs, but I would not copy and paste it, first of all, because that's really not cool. But what I would do is I would rewrite those topics in my own words. So if you pay attention, every popular blogger, um, and a lot of their posts are basically just a rehash of another similar blog post or content from somewhere else. So when you start blogging, you have two options. You have to wing it, and you have to hope that your content will attract your audience, or write content about a topic that you already know is successful in your industry. That's the easiest way to get started. And there's going to be, like I said, so much to do in the beginning that, I mean, it's really up to you how you want to go with it. But if you decide to rehash old content that's still actual, then you might ask yourself, but that content has already been written about. And my answer is yes, it has. But so what? I mean, it's not like you're going to be the first one or the last person to write about that topic, and it's not like everybody that read previous blog posts will come and read yours, or not everybody who reads yours read theirs. So I would, when you decide what type of content to write, I would think about it from this point of view. Now, whenever I start a blog, right now I have 2 active blogs. I have a couple more, but they're not really active, or at least I'm not updating. I'm just maintaining it. They're live, but I'm really not putting any time into it because it takes a lot of time to maintain these 2 I have. Plus, I have other things going on besides that. But whatever I decide what to write about, I begin finding post ideas within my niches. And I also go into my audience and see what they're talking about or what questions they have about whatever product or interest or company or whatever it is. And then I start writing about that. So if those bloggers, they're not telling you about all this, why do you think that is happening? And I really think that this is happening because a lot of these bloggers want you to think that they actually wrote an original content when most of them didn't. But what they did is they just put their spin on it. So if you want to take a blog that takes off faster, then this is what you should do too. Then the second thing is that you should start creating lists, 10 things, 6 things, whatever, and how to blog posts. I mean, these are some of the most successful and the best converting pieces of content that you will have on your blog. People look for lists. People look for how-to, tutorials, instructions, whatever it is. I mean, you still need to research the niches or the topics that are successful in your niche, but now you just have to put lists together about the things that they're talking. And if you're not sure about what you're talking, just think about this video or this blog post. For example, I'm talking about 6 secrets that the successful bloggers are not revealing to you. I mean, it's a list of things. So you can create a list of 10 things, 15 things, 20 things, 30 things, whatever, how many things you want. And it can be any topic or any industry. They have to, however, if you're promising something with this list, you have to deliver on that promise, because people come to your blog or they read this blog post because they're expecting an outcome from that promise. And if you're telling them, hey, here are 10 things I did to make money on my blog post, and you should do it too, or you could do it too, then whatever product you have attached to that blog post, make sure that that product is converting. And it's the same thing with the how-tos. You're creating a tutorial or how to lose weight in whatever, or how to do this and that. Well, you need to make sure that your blog post will have valuable content that will help your audience. So, like I said, creating a list and how-tos are some of the most successful pieces of content that you can do. And at the same time, do not be surprised if this will be the majority of the content that you will do, because like I said, they're very popular. And the third thing that you could do is you could teach other people how to make money blogging. And that's shocking, right? That's like the cat that was in the bag, which is not in the bag anymore because the cat is out. So people that have successful blogs, they make their blog successful because they help other people make money. They're selling something that other people cannot find anywhere else except their own blogs. You know, whether you're promising your audience that they will get rich, whether they're promising that they will be able to leave their jobs, they hate, whether you're promising them that they can create the lifestyle that they long for, whatever it is, if you have a course and you're promising these things to the people and the people trust you enough to buy it, then they actually will buy that course. If you're that authority that they know, like, know, and trust, and they value your content, they will actually buy your course. You know, just think about all this research you did and think about all the blogs you read and maybe even the courses that you purchased. I'm sure you went through somebody's blog and you purchased that. I think it's a weird coincidence that the mommy bloggers and beauty bloggers and travel bloggers and food bloggers and personal finance bloggers and whatever kind of bloggers, they all have courses about how to master social media, how to master Pinterest, how to master Facebook, how to make money blogging, how to make money with affiliate marketing. These are all courses that pretty much every blogger will have some kind of course. And, you know, you can make really good money when you stick to your niche. At the same time, there will come a time where you will hit a plateau because a lot of the topics will change. You know, things will change. Like a lot of industries, you know, they're constantly changing. Because social media, for example, you know, especially Facebook. I mean, Facebook is changing things so often that, of course, you might have created on how to advertise on Facebook or how to master Facebook that you created at the beginning of the year, then it probably might be outdated at this point. But what is ironic about these people that are making these courses, and that very few of these bloggers that make money from blogging will admit that this is how they will make money, and this is how they make the bigger chunk of their revenue. They really don't tell you that you should create a course on how to make money using social media, but they will tell you that they can teach you the techniques that allow them to make $15,000 in 4 weeks. You know, it's the same thing, you know, it's told in a different way, but it's something that's more attractive than like, hey, you know, here's a course I have if you want to make money online. That's not attractive. And, you know, I don't think I know a serious blogger that doesn't do that. I do the same thing. And I teach other people to find the niches that they want to be in, how to make money in their niche. And I also teach them how to bridge the transition from their full-time jobs to making money online and creating a lifestyle that they all desire, whatever it is. I mean, I get it. I'm in this industry and there's a lot of competition, but also there are a lot of opportunities, especially if you do things right, especially if people know you're ethical, especially if you're providing value to your audience. I mean, there's room for everybody, and it's just the name of the game. So if that is not something that you're passionate about, you don't have to do the blogging, because maybe blogging is not for you. Like I said, it takes time. It takes a lot of researching. You need to learn new skills, but mostly it's very time consuming. So if that's not for you, that's okay. But if you want to teach people about how to do different things that you tie to a product you're promoting or company you're promoting, whether it's losing weight or getting rid of the wrinkles or getting the best skincare of their life or whatever it is, it's also one of the things that can bring you a lot of success. So if you want to show people how to organize their closets, I mean, it can be simple things just like that. So what I'm saying here is that you should think about creating blogs. So then the fourth thing that you need to think about is that some of the niches, really, they're not worth your time. If you're looking to sell blogging courses to the largest audience possible, then would it make sense to tell them that they can make money blogging in any niche? Even better, you can tell them that they should follow their passion. Like I told you before, I have two blogs on my own, and I just didn't start them in any niche. That would be dumb. In fact, I have 7 niches that I am exploring where I'm interested in, but I'm still working my way up to those 7 niches. I mean, I have it takes me a lot of time to manage the 2 active blogs I have. So, talking about 2 more, it's just way, way, way too much. So if you're thinking about a topic like fairy dust, which it's cool and a lot of people like fairy dust, but honestly, I mean, you really have to be in those things. Otherwise, nobody's going to read your blog about fairy dust. And I'm not saying it cannot be successful. It can be successful, just at the same time, just as it not necessarily it will be successful. I mentioned earlier about the mommy blogger and all those other bloggers. Do you think this mommy blogger that I was talking to you about, do you think that they write about one topic for women? I mean, clearly, mommies are her audience, but women are so much more. Besides mothers, they're also wives, sisters, grandparents. They're also maintain a household. They might even have another job. They're doing so many things. So this mommy blogger that has a successful blog, she's blogging about house stuff. She's blogging about her kid. She's blogging about do it yourself stuff. She's blogging about organization. She's blogging about how to make money while you're raising your kids at home. And she's making courses on all these topics, and her blog is successful because she has a wide variety of topics that interest a lot of people. It's not just, the mommies that are interested in these things, although, she's a mommy blogger, but her interest is a little bit broader. So that's why I'm saying, when you focus on certain niches that are way too narrow, it's going to be harder to make it successful. Like I said, it's not impossible, but it's going to be harder. So, if you make your niche broader and you choose a niche that is popular, you also have bigger competition, but your audience is bigger. And you don't really have to focus on just one topic. And it really drives me crazy when I ask somebody and I tell them, oh, my blog is just for moms. Well, moms have all these hats, so it makes sense to blog about something different than just your kids. I mean, I'm sure that person is doing so many other things that, them taking care of her kids or his kids. You never know. There's some dad bloggers out there too. And it just drives me nuts. That drives me nuts when they're trying to narrow their audience, to limit their audience, to limit their potential, and ultimately limit their revenue. Now, would it make sense to start things off the bat by catering to a wider audience? Would it make sense to approach different topics with this audience and see which one is more popular? Would it make sense to figure out what exactly your audience is interested in, so you can later on narrow down the things and maybe create section on your blog that are only about certain topics? Because these people will still be your audience, and these people will, especially if they know that you're doing such a wide variety of topics, they're gonna, come back to your blog for other information, not just that one thing that they were interested. So the 5th thing that you can do is to share income reports. And why you should do that? Well, you should do that because, first of all, they work. I'm sure you've seen bloggers posting, plastering their income reports on their blog. And, I struggle with this because I don't like to talk about money, because really my success is not relevant to anybody for several reasons that I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But the reason why people do this is because they work. When somebody sees something like that, and there's a decent chance that they will sign up for whatever blogging or affiliate program this person is promoting. That is why people are sharing this, because like I said, there are good chances that people will use that as proof that those things work. Now, at the same time, anybody can copy an income report from anywhere and say that it's their own. So it's a little bit harder, but, most of the time they work, and most of the time people are honest about those things. So I do not do income reports, and you think stupid me. The reason why I don't do the income reports, like I said, my success is not relevant to anybody. I can tell you the things I did to make me successful, the things I did to work for me. But the thing is, if you're not willing to put in the work yourself, even if you follow my own instructions, but if you don't have the same determination, if you don't have the same skills I have, or if you're not learning the same skills I have, if you don't have the same consistency in posting and following up and emailing your list and promoting on social media and whatever, I mean, there's so many things that come with your blog, you will not have the same success that I had. Just the same way, I look at $1 million top earners. I don't have their same basically daily mode of operation yet. I'm working to get my way up there, but I really don't relate my success to anybody because my skill set, my determination, my consistency is totally different than anybody else's. Like I said, you have to put in your own work. You have to be at the same exact level with me, which is totally impossible because we're different people. Like I said, different skills, different environments. There's still different values. There's skills that you can learn, but your success will be determined by your actions. And then the sixth thing that people, the successful bloggers do not tell you is that you have to be a perpetual salesperson. And I know a lot of people cringe at that word because the word salesperson oftentimes was abused by these salespeople. And they became very annoying people that we don't like, people that won't leave us alone, right? And that's why it's hard to use this word, but at the same time, you created a blog because you want to sell something. You want people to come and buy your product. You want people to come and buy your course. So you are a salesperson. You might not like sending 100 messages a day, but if you want people to come and buy your stuff, you will send out 100 messages a day, 300 messages a day, whatever. You will do whatever you need and whatever it takes to make your blog successful. Think about your inbox. I'm sure that you yourself, just like myself, you're subscribed to a lot of things. Have you received any emails from an influencer that has something to sell and and you got an email from them just when they announced that, hey, we're doing this product, and then you get another email just before it launched? No, you got an email every single day, maybe 2-3 times a day, from the moment that they announce it to the moment that they actually launch it. And as annoying that might seem, is because you or they're trying to capture your interest, and they're trying to capture the interest of their leads. We're living in a society where our attention span is very limited. It's very small. It's less than a canary's, which is just a few seconds. And they have to constantly remind us through their mailing list, through promotion on social media about this thing they have coming up because they want to make sure it's successful. You have to do the same thing. Think about somebody that said that they're making $100,000 from their blog a month. It's a lot of money to some people. To other people, it's nothing. It's a decent amount of money. I mean, it's great. Some people will never make that kind of money from a regular job working for 40 years in their job. But it's very achievable. It's very doable. And if you look at the breakdown, especially if you know that they have a course that they're selling for $99, they only need to sell 102 courses to make that kind of money. And that's just from one course. You have these six-figure influencers like Ray Higdon, or Eric Worre, or Diane Hockman, or Bob Heilig, or Brandon Burchard, or there's Shailene Johnson. I mean, there's so many of them. One $99 course, they just have to sell it to 100 people to make that $10,000. And they have millions of followers. Now think how much money they're making from their courses, and think about this. Would it make sense for them to create these courses? And if you know Eric Worre and all these influencers, you know that the courses are not $100. They're a lot more than that. But it's just an example for easy math. So if they have a list, let's say, if an average blogger has a subscribers list of about 5,000 people, right? It's average. Some people have a lot less, some people have a lot more, but let's say 5,000. And out of those 5,000 people, they just need 100 people to buy that. It's like, the million follower people, like Shailene Johnson, Ray Higdon, and Eric Worre. They just need, out of those millions, 100 people to buy the $99 course. I mean, that's really very low percentage of their list. And not everybody might be interested in whatever course they're selling, but they don't know who it is. I mean, imagine they're not going to email millions of people they have on the list to see which one of them is interested. They're emailing to everybody, and those that are interested who are going to buy. And it's the name of the game. This is how you deep. These are the things that you need to think about when you're starting a blog. And nobody really tells you all these things from the beginning. But it's a lot more than just finding the hosting, finding the domain name, finding the platform you're blogging about. And it's a lot more than just writing about something. Because ultimately, you're a glorified writer, and you should just make a book if you like to write. If you tell me that you want to blog because you want to write, just write a damn book. I mean, it's a lot easier. Whenever you have a product or a course or anything that you promote, you need to make a plan of how you will promote it, and you need to make sure that every channel that you have attached to your blog, social media, blogging, YouTubing, video marketing, whatever, you're using all those tools to promote your product. And yes, you will be annoying the bejesus out of some people, but it's going to be worth it, because this is how you play this game. I mean, like I said, think about these people, think about what you're getting in your inbox. And if you want to stay in the game, you have to play the way the big players play. And it's just as simple. And it's the same game. The blogging is the same game for everybody. There are some rules that might be different. Certain niches, industries, they have different things, but overall it's the same thing. And what we do, especially when it's right in front of us, we are ignoring the obvious. For the most part, everything is pretty obvious, but there are some things like, finding out exactly how they make their money, that you need to do a little bit digging. And if you dig deep enough, you can find the source of all this information. Now, some of them might be running some ads, but you can find it out too, because if you're looking at these influencers that are in your industry, most likely they're targeting you, and most likely you will see that ad in one of your social media, or you probably received an email about it, and then you will know if they're doing any paid advertising. But most of the time, everything is so obvious and everything is so out in our face that when we see it, we're thinking like, nah, that is super easy. Like, it cannot be that easy. So, oftentimes we ignore these signs, and we're looking for these super secret that we must find out, and we, spend so much time digging. Like I said, sometimes you have to do digging, but sometimes when it's so easy, so simple, so in your face, I mean, it's right there. So, a lot of people, that's why they don't talk about it. Like they create an illusion of there's a secret, because they don't want you to, look at this obvious. Now, this community that I'm a part of, we're doing things a little bit different. All the members in the community, well, I cannot attest for everybody, the majority of them, and you will see if you get into this community, we're very supportive of each other, and we're building each other up, because we have a positive mentality, want to maintain positivity. And the reason why is that is because positivity attracts positivity, and you attract what you put out. And we want to be in this environment when we surround ourselves with people that are uplifting and they're helping us grow in our business. And like I said, there's room for everybody. I mean, there's so many things and so many opportunities that you can do. So if you're interested in this community, reach out to me. And if you're really, really, really sure that blogging is for you, definitely reach out to me, and drop a blogging mastery in the comments if you're interested in. Now, if you're not sure about blogging, you want to see if blogging is right for you, and you're not sure, but you wanna somebody that can help you to do that, then we have, before you consider going for a full membership, we have a 10-day trial membership. And I would have you rather go with a trial membership to see if this is really something that you want to do. And when you do that, you will also get or will be included in a blogging bootcamp that I am hosting. So if blogging is your jam, if you want to learn quickly how to start your own blog, how to monetize it, how to grow your audience, how to create sales funnels, how to promote products, how to monetize it, and how to make it a success, then drop me a blogging 101 in the comments. When you do that, it will tell me what you're interested. So if you know what you want to do and you're ready to make that commitment and you know that blogging is going to do, and you want to be part of this awesome community that I have, then drop a blogging master in the comments. Now, if you're not sure, drop a blogging 101 in the comments. Both memberships, as long as you come or you sign up with my link, both memberships will have blogging boot camps. And it's not just blogging boot camp, because they're going to be training on a lot more topics, because blogging takes a lot more than just simply blogging. So like I said, there's going to be a lot more trainings to this, especially in the boot camp. So if this is something you're interested in, I would love to have you on board with us. So I hope you find value from this training and you will share it with your team members or anybody that's interested in learning about blogging and is serious about starting a blog. Or maybe even they had a blog, it's just things are not working for them, because we have another program that might help them, especially those that already have an existing blog. So if you're one that has an existing blog and you're not sure, or you don't want to join the blogging bootcamp, or you're interested in getting different type of resources or help that will help you grow the blog you already have, definitely reach out to me. And for more training and just like this, follow and like my page, and also go to my blog at andrewflorasco.com. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.